Hey guys, it's Kelly G with YourRadiantSoul.com. Thanks for joining me. If you're familiar with my weekly emails that are sent out, typically you get the link to a blog post. But I'm on the road today, and so I thought I would change things up a little bit, try something new. And so I am making a vlog instead of a print blog. So it's an experiment. We're going to see how it goes. Okay, so this past week and this week in working with coaching clients and patients in the mental health realm, we have really been talking a lot about the theme of setting goals and how to actually attain those goals. So I wanted to share with you a few tips and techniques that can help in increasing your chances of reaching your goals. Now, these can be goals about behaviors that you want to make a habit. These can be goals around emotional patterns that you've seen and wanting to be able to respond and choose how you act in the moment rather than reacting. These can be goals around changing your thinking patterns and really shifting how the mind is taking charge of our day. So any type of goal, these tips are going to work for any of your goals. All right, so tip number one, we really want to get specific about what it is we're working toward. Now you may say, well, I have a list of 10 goals I want to work on. Okay, let's pick the first one. So pick the first one. And once we have that one goal in mind, we want to make sure that it's very specific so that we can really start to see what steps to take to get there, and we'll be able to see if we're making progress or not. So we don't want it to be too general, too generic, really specific on that one goal. So we have our what. Once we have our what specifically picked out and maybe even written down, which helps, we're going to take a few moments and really feel into it as if we've already attained it. So we've picked out the what, we've written it down, and now we're going to take a few moments to sit down, to close our eyes, and to first envision ourselves successfully reaching that goal. So we're just in our minds seeing ourselves as successful. Next, we want to, after we envision it, embody it. So next we want to feel into it. How is our body going to feel once we reach that goal? How are we going to feel emotionally once we reach that goal? What thinking patterns are we going to experience once we reach that goal? And so we really want to take some time to envision and embody what it's going to be like once we attain that goal and feel into it as if it has already happened. All right, so that's tip number one. Number two is your why. We really want to take some time to write down the why behind what we're working toward. So when things get really tough, we'll have our why to fall back on. So we want to look at the benefits we're going to get out of attaining that goal, why it means so much to us, why it's important, how it's going to affect other people, all of the different factors that flow into why this is your goal right now. But let me caution you that when you're working toward a goal, especially a personal growth goal, I encourage you to make the why because it's something that you deeply desire rather than something that somebody else wants you to do. So when things do get tough, we'll be able to fall back on our why and say, oh yeah, this is why I'm doing it. I'm going to push forward. I'm going to keep going. And write that down. Write your why down so you have it. It's a quick reference. You can come back to it when you need. All right, tip number three. You have to give yourself permission to change. I know that may sound a little strange, but when we write permission slips for ourselves, when we sit down and say, okay, I give myself permission to change this pattern. I give myself permission to grow. I give myself permission to become someone new, someone different. We really, on a subconscious level, start to break down the ways that we self-sabotage, the ways that we limit ourselves and keep ourselves exactly where we are. So that's another really good one to write down. Permission slips around our own growth and getting out of our comfort zone. So that leads into number 4, when we're speaking about comfort zone and getting out of it. Number 4 is all about looking at the beliefs, the underlying beliefs that we hold that are directing our behavior and our thinking patterns and our emotional patterns right now. So we have to be able to look at our what, look at our why, give ourselves permission to grow, and then say, okay, what beliefs do I have that need to change around this growth? Because if we hold a belief that we can't actually do it, then our chances of reaching that goal are going to be pretty slim. And this can take some digging. This may take a little bit of checking in with other people. This may take some time to uncover. But just even writing down that question, what beliefs need to change so that I can reach this goal? That's going to be really helpful. All right, so we're moving on to number 5, I think. I might have lost count. And that is that we have to make the commitment to do the work. I already mentioned that things may get a little challenging along the way. That's just how it goes when we're trying to change and we're trying to grow. So we have got to make the commitment to stick with it. We have got to also expect that there will be challenges, that there will be obstacles, and we're going to make the commitment that when the obstacles pop up, when resistance pops up, when it gets difficult, we're not going to quit. Because we're going to refer back to our why and say, oh yes, I really do want this, and this is why. And so even though it's really challenging right now, I made a commitment and this is who I want to be. And so I'm going to follow through and I'm going to continue and I'm going to keep doing the work. So we have to expect some bumps in the road. We have to expect that it's not going to go perfectly. And we also have to give ourselves the grace that it takes to keep going when it doesn't look perfect. All right, so then moving on, when things do get difficult, we have got to give ourselves permission to reach out, to ask for help, to have somebody that's a support person for us. So it can be really helpful to write down a name or 2 or 5 or 10 of people that are going to be supportive of us in our journey to change. So even if it's just one person, that's okay. We want to write that person or our people down so that when things do get really challenging, we can reach out to them and say, oh my gosh, so I'm working toward this goal. It's really important to me and I really want to quit today. Talk me off the ledge. And so we also have to be careful in who we choose because some people aren't going to give us what we need. So mindfully choosing the people on our list that we're going to reach out to when things get really difficult. And write that list down. You want to write all this stuff down. It's going to be helpful. I promise. All right, so the last tip is to take baby steps. We want to plan out little baby goals on the way to our big goal. The Eastern philosophy of Kaizen is small continuous change. In the world of positive psychology, Sean Achor talks about meaning markers and really starting to make small goals because when our brain sees that we're close to the finish line, it actually supports us in reaching the finish line. It supports us in propelling us towards success. So make small goals on the way to the big goal. Baby steps add up to make big change. And pick the easiest one. Pick the easiest one to do first, to start with first, because then we are successful and we have a little bit of momentum and that's gonna roll into the next one. So let's see if I can recap. Figure out your what, get really specific. Write down your why about it so you have that to refer back when things get challenging. Give yourself permission to change and to grow and to feel uncomfortable in that process because growth does not happen in our comfort zone. Check out your underlying beliefs. See how your beliefs are driving your current behaviors and what needs to change so that your behaviors and thinking and feeling can all change in the direction that you want to go in. Make a commitment to do the work and follow through and don't give up when it gets difficult. Expect bumps and for it to be imperfect. and maybe even just aim for a B-. We're not aiming for an A+ perfection here. Reach out and find support. Reach out and have a list of people that can support you and will support you in your journey to change. And then make baby steps, small goals along the way, and so that we can have success after success after success that is going to help propel us toward that really big finish line goal. All right. Thanks for joining me. It was my first vlog. I hope that you enjoyed it. Please feel free to share with whomever you would like to share with. And you can always reach out to me, email me with questions or comments, or if you're checking this out on social media, you can also always comment below. I would love that. All right, you guys, have a great day, a great rest of your week, and I will check in with you again soon.